Hello there, fellow collectors. It is Sneaker back with another review. I am very excited to finally be bringing you a review of the Hot Toys Batman with the bat signal. First off, I just want to say thank you to everyone who reached out to me saying they're looking forward to this review. It really motivated me to do this one, and I couldn't be more excited to finally be releasing this one for all of you. If you haven't already, please like this video, subscribe to my channel, and ring that notification bell so that you stay up to date on all future content and live streams coming from me. Please also consider becoming a channel member and joining the Evil Empire, where you get access to exclusive perks as well as members only shoutouts at the end of all of my videos and live streams. If you follow my content already, you know that I love this movie. I care a lot about this character, and I am super stoked to finally bring you this review of the Batman. Let's get into it. So first impression, when I opened the box, I knew this was going to be a special release. This figure right out of the box is absolutely incredible. This figure deserves all of the hype that it has been getting. Just seeing it right out of the box, it instantly became one of my favorite figures in the collection without even doing anything with it yet. So it is amazing. I'm going to get into more details throughout my review here. But before I do that, let's take a look at the accessories. So with this release, this is the Batman Deluxe and then obviously the bat signal. So you get a ton of accessories. There is endless displayability with this figure. So starting out here, we have this standard rectangular base. You get these covers that you can use. I personally am not going to use these. They look cool, but there are so many better options with this release. But nevertheless, cool additions. And then I'm sorry, my camera loses focus a little bit here, but we're going to be talking about the base in a little bit more detail anyways. And then moving on over, you get a ton of stuff. You get 9 total hands. You get 2 batarangs as well as the one on his chest. You have the grapple hook. You have a grapple hook that's wired. You have these cuffs. You have these grappling hook weapons that attach into his forearms, which I'll show later in the video. You have the adrenaline syringes, the flare, and then the sticky bomb gun, which comes with a little cartridge that you can put in the end of it. I didn't do that because it looks like it's going to be a pain to get out. And then you have the cards from the Riddler. So I'm really happy with the amount of accessories that this figure comes with. And then moving up here, we have the cowl, which I wish didn't have the neck piece on it. I wish it would have been necklace. That would have been a cooler addition. I'm probably not going to use it as is. And then we have this incredible maskless head sculpt. I think the likeness here for Robert Pattinson is on point. I love how you get the interchangeable hairpiece. I really like this messy hairpiece instead. And then there are these 2 interchangeable faceplates as well as the one that comes standard on the figure. A welcome addition to use with the cowl look. I think all 3 of them look really nice. And again, I'll get to that later in the video. This head sculpt absolutely surprised me in person. I think it looks awesome. Like I said, on point with the likeness. And then you have the wingsuit. I didn't even take it out of the bag. This is not something that I'm going to be using for this figure, but it's there. It's a cool addition for anybody who wants to, but not something that is interesting for me. And then you have this cool cardboard backdrop that actually, when you move it, you can see the flames moving. I might actually mount this in the back of my Module space. I'm not sure yet, but it looks cool. It's a cool addition. Not something that I'm going to use for the figure stand though. And then we have this alternate cape, which is really for use when you mount it on the bat cycle. This is a little dark here, but I'm trying to show some of the weathering. And again, just another addition for this figure. And then you have the bat signal, which I'm going to show in more detail here shortly as well. So overall, you have endless display options with this figure. You can really do whatever you want here, which is a very welcome addition. And I'm really happy with all of the accessories that this figure comes with. By the time I was done filming, I forgot to include this neck piece that goes onto the neck of the head sculpt. So next, I want to talk about this base. This thing is pretty cool. I like the fact that it's modular. You get the staircase with the rail and then this building decor on the front of it. The only thing I don't like is you have this hole for the stand. I wish it came with a small cover for that. So now I want to transition to a shot of this thing lit up. And here it is plugged in again with USB-C, which is a very welcome addition. I am glad you don't need batteries for this. The only downside is one string of these red lights does not light up. So that's kind of a bummer. It would have been nice if all three of these would have lit up the exact same way, but there is a way around this that I'm going to show in the next part of the video here, where you can adjust the pieces and put the base in here. But still, this is a really cool look, even if that top bar is not lit up, and the lights are really nice on this. So here is the way around that. You put the base at the bottom, and then you simply slot the staircase up one more notch, and you have it looking like this. I think this is a really cool way to do it. You get the nameplate on the front, and this would be if you want the Batman kind of walking down the stairs. So again, just a nice thing to have options for this figure on how you want to display it and how you want to utilize the base. And here's another option. Again, it's really nice that this is modular. You get multiple options when displaying this. This way is not for me. Again, I wish they would have included a small piece to put into the holes where the stand goes, but nevertheless, it's nice to have options and the ability to switch up your base for the display. I think that's really cool. Now, going back to the bat signal, this thing is awesome. If you have the Batman and you didn't pick up the bat signal, honestly, I would highly recommend that you consider getting this if you have the space. With this being USB-C powered, all of the really nice paint application with the rusting and kind of these raised metal marks, the symbol on the front, I'm going to light it up later in the video, but I'm really glad I went with this option for the figure that included the bat signal. Luckily, you can go and pick it up if you want as a separate purchase as well. Again, here you can just see the really nice detail. This looks like it's actually metal, even though it's plastic. I love the blotchiness in the paint. It literally looks around these raised metal marks that there's actually like oxidation and rusting taking place there. They just did an excellent job with that for this piece. This seems like something that would be hard to make. You have these complex folds in the plastic and just so many little fine and intricate details throughout this. I love the rusting at the bottom of the piece here as well. And like I said, this kind of blotchy paint application. And then moving up, you have the actual symbol, which is really cool. It has these little broken pieces of metal. Again, just a lot of attention to detail when it came to creating this. I am very happy with it. So finally, here we have our first pose of the figure. And I thought this figure looked cool just standing out of the box. So getting it posed up takes it to another level. Again, this figure is just so awesome. One tough thing though is getting this cape right. As you can see on the back, it wrinkles really easily. It's thin. I wish maybe it was a little bit different. So it was hard to get the cape posed the exact way that I wanted to. But on a positive note, it has wires running on the left, right, and center of it. And here are some close-up shots and some slow motion of the detail and all of the attention that went into this figure. It is so nicely done. I love the detailing of the suit and the chest plate. You have this nice die-cast batarang with all the weathering around it. I really like this open mouth head sculpt. I think it kind of creates this action look. The cowl has some really nice detail in it as well. Again, the suit is really nice. The fabric allows for good posability. And then in this forearm, like I talked about with the accessories, there's a little piece that detaches from this, and you simply plug in the grapple gun that hooks right into one of the hands as well. So that is really nice. And again, the belt here has just a lot of nice detail with the carabiner, with the sticky bomb cartridge. And then you get the pouches that hold the adrenaline syringes. Another thing I am really happy with are these split cut boots, so you don't have to worry about posability at the foot and the ankle. I love the intricate details here in the suit. Then there is the sticky bomb gun inside of the holster, which is really easy to do and fits in there nicely. And there is great detail here in the hands, in the gauntlets, in the biceps piece here, and also in the shoulder armor where it has these nice touches of weathering on them. So like I said earlier, I think the cape is too thin and it is hard to pose somewhat, but I love the weathering and the detail that they put into this. And it does look good visually on the figure. So from that standpoint, I think it's okay, but I do wish it was a little bit easier to pose and it wasn't so thin. So now here he is in a more simple pose, and I think this is the beauty of this figure. You can do really cool dynamic poses, but also simple and effective museum style poses. So here he is holding an envelope from the Riddler, which is a nice included accessory. It's also great to have the rolling eyes. I talk about this on all the figures that have it. Just such a welcome addition to really capture the likeness from different angles and to capture the scene that you're going for. So like I said, a welcome addition, something that I'm always happy to have. So next we have the Batman displayed without the cowl on. And I gotta say, I am very surprised at how good this head sculpt looks in person. It is phenomenal. I especially like the messy hair. I think it captures Robert Pattinson perfectly. I really like this pose of him kind of perched up on this building piece, looking down. And again, I just really appreciate the flexibility and the options when it comes to posing this figure. Here's a close-up of the other side of the base. Again, I like this building piece. I'm not quite sure how I'm going to display it just yet. But one challenge I had with this figure was getting the head sculpt onto the peg. It's actually just resting here in the video. I didn't force it because I'm not going to be displaying it like this. It is a little bit easier to fit it if you take off the back hair piece. But the collar is definitely a little bit too narrow. I'm likely going to be putting a custom collar on, but nevertheless, this head sculpt is incredible. I'm very happy with it. Eventually, I'm going to be putting it onto a drifter body once somebody releases one. So here he is posed next to the Bat Cycle, which is another piece that I recommend picking up. You can check out my review of this on my channel as well. I didn't have the time to get him posed up on the Bat Cycle. That is something that takes a lot of time to get the pose just right. So unfortunately, wasn't able to include that into the review, but nevertheless, he looks awesome just standing next to the Bat Cycle here as well. And here's a quick look of him posed with the Jazz Inc. Batmobile, which is a piece I'm thrilled to have in the collection, one that I'm going to be dropping a review for in the near future on my channel as well, so stay tuned for that. And here is one final pose with everything together. I am so pumped to finally have this figure in hand. It instantly became one of the top 3 in my collection. And finally, it is so nice to have this representation in my collection as well. If you are a fan of the movie, I think you will be very happy and you should not hesitate to pick this one up. With that being said, thank you so much for watching the review. If you haven't already, please hit that like button on the way out, subscribe to the channel, and ring that notification bell to stay up to date on future content and live streams coming from me. And as always, please leave a comment below. Is this a figure you picked up? Are you passing on it? I would love to just hear your overall thoughts. And last but not least, I want to give a shout out to Underground Figures, which is where I got this Batman from. You can check them out by going to undergroundfigures.net. If you make an account on their website, you are eligible for no NRD pre-orders. They have great prices and double box all shipments free of charge. Check out the description of this video for more details. Again, thank you so much for watching the review, and until next time, collect carefully.